was recording. Okay. Hey everyone, it's Victoria. Welcome yet again to another episode of Spirit Talks, Deep Calls to Deep. Where do I start? I'm going to start by saying that there's a message that has been put in my heart for the last 2 weeks, and it started by things occurring in my life, things that I cannot explain. I'll share probably 2 instances that really stood out. There are a couple of instances that have happened which I can't disclose now, but I'll share 2 instances that happened these last 2 weeks. The first instance was, as you all know, I have a brand called Vis Viva, and we were doing a collection, and one of my head tailors lost their mother, so they had to go and do the burial preparations and everything. So he had decided that he will come and work for a while, but he was also so stressed. So this one time, it was on a Saturday, I think. Yeah, it was probably, no, actually, it was on a Saturday or on a Monday. And he went for lunch, and we were doing this big collection because I'm about to travel and I wanted the collection to be done before I travel. And he just told me, hey, I'm going for lunch. I'm like, okay. Long story short, character development by tailors. I love him, but he never came back. And in the middle of it, I was like, you know what, God, I'm not gonna stress. You got this. So approximately like 30 minutes later, because it was around 1:32, so around 2:30, I see a guy walk into the workshop, and he has another guy behind him, and I'm like, who's that? He's like, nimekuletea mgeni wako. That's, I've brought you your visitor. So I'm like, my visitor? He's like, yeah, your visitor. So the guy left. He owns another tailor shop down. I'm upstairs, he's downstairs on another block. So he had brought the visitor. So I'm like, He's like, I've heard that you're looking for people looking for work. So I'm here to work. I'm a tailor. And I'm like, oh, okay. How did you get to hear about us? I'm like, one of your guys told a friend of mine that you're looking for work. So I came. I don't have a phone. I'm just from Kibera. I don't have a phone. And I just decided to enter a matatu and come and look for the place. So what I did is I asked the makanga, that's the tout, to show me where the building is, because I don't know Westlands. I don't know the area. So I was like, So the tout told me that he doesn't know the place, but where he'll stop, he can kind of direct me to around the area. Then apparently there was a guy seated behind me and who tapped my shoulder and was like, I work directly opposite the building that you're looking for, so I'll take you. So it's a miracle that I'm here, because the guy was seated behind me. He came, took me to the building, taken me to the area, and we met this guy downstairs who said that he knows where you might be looking for tailors, and he brought me here. So I'm here to work. And I'm like, okay, you can sew? Yeah, here, do a sample. And long story short, he turned out to have fantastic quality. He did a sample which we actually had to modify just a little bit to our new collection, and he did his part, and everything just turned out so well. As much as the other tailor left, literally God brought in another one, and I cannot explain how someone who works directly opposite the building was literally behind him in the same matatu. I knew where to bring him, and God knew how much I needed this collection done before I travel. So that's just one. However you interpret that is up to you. You can call that coincidence. However you interpret that, it's up to you. The other incidents I'd like to bring is I have a vacuum cleaner and my coffee maker stopped working. My vacuum cleaner hasn't worked in a while and my coffee maker just stopped working, and I'm a morning coffee person and I really need my coffee sometimes. And I've been meaning to take them to an electrician. So there's a time I'd fixed my oven and the electrician came and he fixed my oven in my house, and he was right next to he had a small shop right next to the building where I was, but there's a time I went there and I was told he moved. I was like, oh, he moved? So I assumed that I have his number. So I was like, I'm just going to call him. So this particular morning, it was, today's Saturday, that was Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. In the morning as I was leaving, I've called my Uber, I'm about to leave and something tells me, and I just feel like I need to carry my vacuum cleaner and my coffee maker. I need to go have them made because I've procrastinated having them made for a long time. And I'm like, but the Uber driver is going. But I'm like, if I've experienced so many things where I've overthought the hunch and not done it, and then a few hours later something happens and I'm like, I knew I should have carried that. I knew I should have done this. So there's been a couple of occurrences where I've learned not to overthink that hunch that I get, not to try and apply logic to that thing that I'm feeling. If I feel like I should text someone, I won't apply logic to it. I'm like, there's a reason I'm probably feeling it, let me just do it. When I feel like, let me pass this road and not this road, I don't try and use logic nowadays. I'm like, I've gone through enough experiences to know when I disobey that logic, it's not a smooth ride. It still happens. Whatever happens is going to happen, but it's not a smooth ride. So this one time it happened, and I felt like I need to carry my vacuum cleaner and my coffee maker. I just carried them. I was like, there's a reason why I'm feeling it, so I'm gonna carry it, mainly due to what has happened before. So I have to really insist on that. God will sometimes take you through a process where you have to learn how to listen, how to know what it is, how to discern. It's the spirit of discernment, to discern what's your thoughts and what's your overthinking. It's the feeling that you'll get, and God will sharpen it slowly by slowly. So anyway, when I got the hunch to carry my vacuum cleaner and my coffee maker and the Uber driver is waiting down, I was like, there's a reason I'm feeling it. So I just hurried, I took a big paper, put my big vacuum cleaner there. It's not so big, but it fit inside a shopping paper bag. And then I took my coffee maker, put in another big paper, and I ran outside and went to the Uber. So the Uber drove and we reached to my building. So in this time, I'm just assuming I'll just call the guy because I have his number, right? So I get out of the Uber, I tell him, just drop me there, just drop me slightly ahead there. So yeah, you can stop here. The Uber guy is like, here? I'm like, yeah. So I pay the Uber guy, I come out of the car, I go around the car to open the door to grab the vacuum cleaner and the coffee maker. I close the door and I make 2 steps. So the Uber guy this time has already driven off. So I just make 1, 2, 3 steps, maximum 3 steps. And then I turn back and I'm like, you look familiar. He's like, hi. And I'm like, hi. I'm like, you're the guy who came to fix my oven, right? He's like, yeah, it's me. I'm like, imagine I was bringing for you these things and then I just have my vacuum cleaner and my coffee maker there. Literally, I just stepped out of the Uber, 2, 3 steps, turned around, the guy is there and I'm like, yeah. He's like, you know I moved, right? I'm like, yeah, I know you moved. I came there and I saw a sugarcane juice person, but I think I have your number, so I was just going to call you. He looked at me and he was like, do you really have my number? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I have your number. Let me check. So I take out my phone and I'm looking for his number. I'm like, what's your number? Because I really don't remember his name. He's like 07 blah 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 blah. I'm looking on the phone. I'm like, huh? I don't have it. There's like, no, you must have another number. So he's like, yeah, I do have another number, but I don't think you have it. Let's just check if you have it. So I take out my phone again. I'm like, I don't have your number. He's like, you don't have my number? I'm like, I promise you, I was coming with these things. I knew I have your number. I was going to call you and give you my vacuum cleaner and my coffee maker to make. But clearly God had a plan. So I gave him. I really even didn't have to carry them up the stairs. So he was literally outside. It's like, here, go. Not planned, nothing. So he had moved to another place near me. I did not have his number. I did not even remember his name. And I cannot explain. This just comes to show that God really cares even about the small, little, simple stuff in your life. And I have experienced so many of those, including things like, I look at a jacket and I'm like, I'd like that jacket, and then maybe a few weeks later, it could even be a month, and I see that jacket on sale, or I want these shoes, and I'm walking in a mall, and then I get a hunch to walk in a particular direction. Again, I have learned to discern and to listen to know when it's me trying to overthink and when it's not me. It's literally a process. You'll go and He will give you signs. He will give you signs. Yes, this is me. He will leave receipts. Me and my best friend call it receipts. He will give you receipts to tell you that you're not mad. To tell you that, I know you're trying to think logic in this, but I'm God. I do not use your logic. Your thinking is not my thinking. So I have learned that. So this time I'm walking in the mall. I've already closed the car and I'm like, I should drive off. He's like, I don't know why I feel like going in this particular direction and going back to the mall. So I'm even walking and I'm like telling God, why do you want me to walk in this direction? And there are these shoes that I really, really have been looking for to buy. I've checked online, I checked everywhere, and I hadn't seen them. Some nude and white heels. So I needed nude heels and white heels. And as I'm walking and I'm like, I've already checked Fashion Nova. They don't have, what other... Anyway, let's just walk since I've learned not to disobey even the smallest stuff. So let's just walk. So as I'm walking and I'm passing and I'm like, I see the two heels, a nude heel and a white heel. They're not on sale, but they're a good price. And I'm like, they are exactly what I wanted. And I'm like, wow, God, you never miss a step. You even take care of the small, mundane things in my life. You care about that shoe that I like. You care about me wanting to match an outfit and feeling good about myself. So, my message to you today is, learn to walk with God and include Him even in the small, mundane things. It's about walking with God. Sending Him before you, not just segmenting the big things in your life for Him. He wants to be in our lives. He wants to be involved in everything that we do. He cares about that shoe. He cares about that hairstyle. So He will take you to that hairdresser that knows that particular hairstyle with that curve that you like. He knows how OCD you are if that line doesn't go straight. So He will lead you to that. So He will already take care of that. And this week has been such an amazing week, including me wanting to paint my house and having someone come and quote for me a big quote. And I'm like, then he's like showing me pictures. And from one of the pictures, I got an inspiration of what I should do to the house, because I see it. And when you're walking with God, there's a knowing that just comes with things. So when you see and you know, yes, I should do this. There's the spirit of knowledge. There's a knowing in your spirit. So I see the picture, I'm like, I know immediately, you are here not because you're supposed to paint the house, because you've already overquoted, but you are here because what you served, or your purpose that you are serving now, is to give me this inspiration to do this, because if I had not met you, I would have not had this inspiration to do this to the house. And then I call another painter. I go through my phone book and I have like 5 painting people for different painters, and I call one guy who's painted for me before, I don't even remember when. He's like, well, I'm not available, but I have a friend of mine who can come and paint for you. And I'm like, okay. I called, he sends me the number, and the guy immediately comes, and he's charging quarter of what this other guy is charging. And the best thing is, this guy is working with his sons, and we had a conversation, and you immediately realize why this person had to be the one who came into your life. And you realize God actually makes people meet in the simplest situations, and you realize God's ways are bigger than yours. He operates on another realm. He already knows. It's like you and your kid. Your kid wants what they want, but you have a bigger picture for your kid. So when you're telling them, I want you to do this because this is where I want us to go. And the kid is like, no, I really want to go out and play with my friends. Why aren't you allowing me to go play with my friends? And you're like, no, I want you to do this so we can go on holiday. And the kid doesn't see the bigger picture. So that's the same thing with God, because your child wants to just play with their friends and go to school in a particular way, but they do not see the future. You're looking at, if I put you in this particular position, it will put you in a better position for your future. But the kid just wants what they want then. And it's sometimes the same thing with our God, that we can only see up to a certain extent, but he has the bird's eye view of where our life should be, and how it should be, and how he wants our life should be, how we should experience this abundance, because his abundance is not limited. Our abundance is limited. Our thinking and our feeling of abundance is limited. He says, I will give you things that ears have not heard, eyes have not seen, hearts have not perceived. So when you think about those lines, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and hearts have not perceived. So nobody has even thought about that. So that's what he has for you. So my message today is, let go of control. So what I'd also like to add to this is, it doesn't have to be a happily forever after story. So sometimes is God knows what you need at that particular time, and you have to learn to use things and incidences and people up to the point where they serve you, and to know that it's serving me for this particular point in my life, and when it goes, it's okay, and when it disappears, it's okay, and it served its purpose in my life. So I understood that fundi has come to serve this purpose at this particular time. So even when he's gone, I'm so grateful, and hopefully, God willing, I know we'll work again, but he served his purpose, and he gave his complete 10 over 10 when he was serving his purpose. And me trying to call him back, because we all know fundis. Me trying to call him back would be a disservice to me and him, because if his purpose is done and I keep on stressing to come, I'm stressing myself. So you need to reach a point of release, where you release things, where you release people, where you release situations in your life, so you don't have to keep on clinging onto situations and clinging on to things, and just know that they've served a purpose in your life. They served that particular purpose, and it's okay, and God has it in control.